Hey there guys, it's Mr. Brer. I'm going to go through a couple of instructor videos, so this will be the first of the series. Today we're going to look at Chon Ji. Chon Ji has two separate sides to it. I'm going to go through the entire pattern with you now, and then we'll break it down to the two separate sections. So, as you just noticed, the pattern has two separate sections. We start off a lot of it. It starts off in walking stance. There's a lot of walking stances coming back from what you learned earlier. But we start to incorporate a new stance. It's called an L stance. And an L stance looks like an L on the ground. So if you imagine, you got one foot there, pointing in that one, in the straight direction from there, and then you place your other foot roughly about a foot's distance, 2 feet distance away from your 2 feet. So you got a nice L shape forming here, but the majority of your weight on the back leg and the knee goes over that foot. So make sure that your knee's not pointing in or pointing out. Go straight over that foot. The other knee again is over the other foot. Now, I'm going to extend it a bit so you can see the more exaggerated form. So it's nice and long in this sense, but a lot of the weight is on that back foot, allowing me to easily lift up my front foot with no problems. Now, if you've got too much weight on the front foot, you'll find that when you need to lift that front foot up, you're going to have to shift backwards. What we want to do is make sure that our stance allows us to lift the front foot with minimal weight shifting. So, not too much of this, just straight up. The other aspect of this stance, unlike the walking stance, which is very straight on, this stance is more sideways. So we're going to do the same stance that we're looking at now. We've got the same stance, but I'm sideways on. My body is in a sideways direction. So my shoulder is in line with the front foot. So they're both in that same direction. And my both knees are over the feet. So this stance is an L stance. And it's going to be used a lot in the second half of this pattern. If you notice in the second half of the pattern, we start off we move in from our walking stance low block to an L stance middle block. In an L stance middle block, our middle block starts from up there, on the outside, and comes across. Because this stance doesn't allow you to move as far, a lot of people find it difficult to get that hip twist. It's very important that you still capture that hip twist. You can get the hip twist by swinging your body backwards and sinking deep into this stance. So this movement here is where you generate that power. When you go from here, you go and sink into that stance. You can accelerate your hand and sink in the stance. The hand still stops over the knee. So your front knee, just like in a walking stance, where our hand is over our front knee, in an L stance, that position stays the same. The difference, of course, is that we aren't moving as far across. So this is our L stance, and this is our L stance middle block. Right? Now from the other side, that is our L stance middle block. So when you go into it from here, I'm going to go from there, I'm going to go L stance middle block. So we have many directions to move with this stance, and we'll look at that in a second. First of all, we're going to look at some of the more difficult footwork that we start off in this pattern. Unlike in Sajir, which you learn when you're a white belt, when you're a 9 cup, you're a yellow tag, you've got different sections, different movements to make. So here we go. We start the pattern. Pattern starts off going to the left, so that's this direction. You're going to look to your left, and you get your chamber for your low block, and you can move that left leg into a walking stance. Now our hands and feet are going to end up moving together. So we're not going to do that and then block. That's not as effective. So we're going to go into a walking stance, nice strong walking stance, with our low block in place. You're going to step forward and punch. This time, whenever you have your right hand in front, you punch with your right hand, you're going to follow your pinky. So you're going to follow that pinky. It's my pinky rule. You're going to follow your pinky all the way around behind yourself. It's going to turn 180 degrees. You're going to go from here. You're going to follow our pinky. So to make it easy for us, instead of trying to swing all the way around, you bring your feet together, a little bit close together. I'm going to get into my position. So my right hand is going to do the blocking. In the position for a low block. And then I'm going to swing around and do my low block. Alright, so from here, I'm going to bring that leg around and block. Alright, so let's look at it again. From here, you're going to go low block, moving your left leg. You're going to step forward and punch. From here, you're going to follow your pinky all the way around yourself. Your right hand is going to do the blocking, so you can start there, and you come up together, stopping you from wobbling around. And you're going to low block. After this low block, you're going to do a front punch. Now from here, you've got your left hand punching. Left hand punching basically means that you're only going to go part of the way. So you're not going to go all the way around, you're only going to go part of the way. But we're still going to follow that pinky. So the pinky's going to lead us this way. We're going to go there, and we're going to go into a low block. Now to do that, again, we're going to bring our feet together, get into our chamber position, snap into that low block. You're going to step forward and punch. Now we've got our right hand, we're going to spin around behind ourselves. So we're going to go all the way around. Look at that footwork, very important in this pattern is that footwork. This footwork here is probably the most difficult footwork you've got to comprehend. So we're going to do that little first bit again. So these turns are pretty much, those are all the turns you're going to do. So with your right hand forward, you're going to turn all the way around yourself. Your left hand forward, you're going to only turn part of the way. So watch this. I'm going to just do the first bit. Follow that pinky. You're going to come up. You're going to go down. Then you're going to come up. You're going to go down. Right? Now, once you've done 4 punches or 4 low blocks, we're going to change it. So, I'll be facing away from you. So, in order to show you that part of the pattern, I'll get to there. So from here, what we're going to do is we're going to go into a middle block, an L stance. And we've got our left hand forward, which means we're only going to go part of the way. But we're still going to come up. We're going to go to that proper chamber. We're going to sink into our L stance, into a middle block, right? This is very important. It's an L stance middle block. So from here, L stance middle block. You're going to step forward and punch. Same rule applies. We've got our right hand forward. We're going to follow the pinky all the way around. We're going to go into an L stance middle block. So come up here, L stance middle block. Then you're going to go forward and punch. Got our left hand. You're going to come up, L stance middle block, forward and punch. So those are the 2 sections of this pattern, and then they come together to form the entire pattern. So if you want to practice it, you can break it down into 2 sections. You can start off just doing your middle blocks to get used to that new stance, to that L stance. And then work your way through to incorporating the low stance, the middle block walking stance as well. So that is Chon Ji. Watch this movie over and over again. Look at the first bits, look at the entirety of the pattern, break it down, and get yourself used to those turns. The turns are probably the most difficult part of this new pattern. Well done. Hope you progress well. Chon Ji, turn. Again.